I'm going to say something controversial. If ufuna umshado uzoshada.
Do you believe everyone has a soulmate?
For me, I'm trying to dispel the notion that it's just all smooth all the
If
time.
you have a soulmate.
If you have a soulmate.
There's more to marriage than you being faithful. It doesn't matter where you are. If it is your season, things will line up for you. The way that one loves, it's how they were loved.
Yeah.
Or others decide that is not like that is not how I'm going to love. I was loved like that. I didn't like how I was loved, and therefore I am deciding to flip things around, and I'm going to love the way I desired to be loved. After receiving pleas and requests from our male viewers, just to have a different voice, deeper voice, and also just a different perspective on our channel, we have decided to take upon that opportunity and invite our gents who are our friends of the channel and of Unashamedly Her. So what better way, right? This is the moment. What better way to have someone who has been behind the scenes, someone who is not only a friend but fully invested in what Unashamedly Her does, my husband, Bongani. So, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Having us. Oh, you mean the men?
Yes,
are you,
the fellas.
The fellas. Are you now just speaking for the men?
Exactly.
Final.
Hey,
final.
it has happened to us.
It's happening to us. Welcome, babes.
Thanks, babe. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Been looking forward to it, I think. No, I have.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good.
Firstly, what does it feel like to be on this side of the camera? Because you're always behind the scenes.
I feel like Brendan from Brendan and Pumi. So I feel like I'm out here Brendaning. No, I feel good.
You feel good?
Yeah, I feel good. I mean, I'm comfortable, you know.
Good.
Conversating, I'm comfortable to be before the peoples.
Okay.
But I'm trying very hard not to be self-conscious about what's happening.
Yes.
Yeah, but I'm good.
And trying to overthink.
No.
Your questions
chill
and your
vibes.
responses.
Exactly. I mean, even when you sent me the script, or at least the questions.
I sent briefs.
Yeah, of course. No, Sitara over here.
No. Professional.
We are intentional.
Professional. Intentional, professional. We send briefs and scripts so that someone can be able to,
Exactly. So as I was reflecting on those, you know, I kind of used them as okay, cool. These are the pointers that I maybe want to get across, but I also want to make sure that I'm authentic on the day or in the moment.
Yeah.
In my responses. So
yeah. How are you?
I'm fantastic.
How are you? How is Johannesburg?
Hey, Jozi Maboneng, the city of gold.
Hey, the city of gold. Egoli.
Lalela.
Egoli.
Gauteng.
Gauteng. Right. Yeah.
We're here for the gold, man. But no, most importantly, we're here just for the next phase of our lives, for the next phase of what we're about and what we're trying to do and what we're trying to build. And yeah, man, I'm really excited to be here. Definitely, you know, the potential is tangible.
Yeah.
You know, in Gauteng, not only because of the line of work that I'm in, but there's just a sense of people want to get things done around here. And so, yeah, it's palpable.
Yeah.
You know, so I feel good. I feel good to be around friends and family. And yeah, I'm in a good space.
You're in a good space.
I'm in a good space.
That's always the best, my love.
100%.
Yeah, that's always the best. And how has the reception been? Like, I know, obviously, your in-laws are amazing. So I know the reception from them has always been amazing, even when you were visiting.
Yeah.
But how has, like, just your peers in the industry, how has the reception been, you know? Were you calling people and you're like, hey?
You know what? It's been interesting, right? Because
Yeah.
when you start putting the word out, hey guys, I'm finally moving to Joburg. You know, someone like, hey, it's about time.
Okay.
Oh, great move. No, hey, hit us up when you're here.
Okay.
You know, so that level of anticipation
Yeah.
has been good.
Yeah.
And I think some of them are well-meaning, but also you realize once you're on the ground that people are about their business, so to speak.
Yeah.
Excuse the pun. And so you have to get on your own business, you know.
Mm.
But nevertheless, I think it feels good to know that when you pick up the phone to call someone, to reach out to someone, be like, yeah, hey, you know what, I'm hectic, but hey, we'll definitely do
Meet
something,
up
you
and
know.
do something.
Exactly.
That's good.
Yeah. So the reception has been great, to be perfectly honest. The
Yeah.
reception is great. I think there's also a level of maturity that you have to factor in, especially trying to move at our, at my age at least, on the fourth floor. That people have lives, people have families, man. And they are well meaning to say yes, we must meet up, but also just realizing in my own life that in as much as I want to meet up with people, I'm like, I need to get on stuff. I got school runs to worry about, So, but it's just to know that that's out there,
Yeah.
in the atmosphere, so to speak.
And did you find, I don't know, I know with me, right? Not everyone, but there were those few people who sometimes when you tell them the news, they sort of treat you as though you thought about it yesterday and you made the decision today. So I thought about it yesterday that I'm moving.
Yeah.
It's because they haven't been, they're not privy to the information at hand.
Sure.
Yeah, or at length. No. This has been 4 years,
Yes.
in the making.
Yeah.
So it's just that now it's materializing.
Exactly.
But did you find just those few people who are like, hey, are you really sure? Or treating you as though you made the decision yesterday? Or are people in your circle and family members, are they on some eyeball? We trust your decision. We know that you'll always make a good decision, so go for it.
Sure. You know what? It's been like, again, I guess it also speaks to age and maturity or stage of life that I'm in, and I guess my peers are in, right? I think there's definitely been an understanding that, hey, you've thought things through,
Yeah.
and you're on to the next phase. I think for me, like, you're getting pumped because you're also getting ready to make this big move, and then as I'm about to, my sister was already living in Johannesburg at the time, and I'm like, hey guys, we're moving to Joburg. She's like, hey guys, we're moving to the Netherlands. So you're like, for me, it was just a point to pause and reflect, and just realize to say, you know what, people are about their business.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think there wasn't much of reading too much into it and be like, are you,
That's good.
Are you sure? And I think also, my folks, they're over the hill and far away, in terms of age at least. To say, Wakumuza Makaya, is about to live that chief life, So you realize, Nami, I should just get on my own thing.
Yeah.
And everybody's on their own thing, to be honest.
And everyone
not because they're dismissive or
Yeah.
they're not invested or
Yeah.
they don't care.
People are
But
busy.
People are on their own thing.
Doing their own things.
Exactly.
I agree. But also it gives you a level of also trusting in the decision that you've made.
Yes.
Not having a lot of people treating you like a whole adult. That, you know what, these people are a family.
Yes.
They've made this decision, which means they have thought it through.
Exactly.
And all we can do is support and pray for them and go, hey guys, do it.
Exactly.
And obviously, Gauteng has that whole thing of more opportunities. There's more opportunities here, and I mean, I got that a lot as well. Even from my peers, from Durban. It's like, oh well, we know that you'll be better off and stuff like that. And I was like, I don't know, not really. I mean, but this was my thing. I'm from Joburg.
Yeah.
Born and bred in Gauteng, Johannesburg,
Soweto.
Deep Kloof, right? So I don't know if I fully agree with the fact that the province has more opportunities because I've been here and I've had dry seasons.
Sure.
And I think going through that and being able to overcome that, I've come to the realization, I've come to the realization that it doesn't matter where you are. If it is your season,
Yeah.
if it is your season, things will line up for you. There will be some form of alignment. There'll be calls that all you need to do is just prep and trust that, Lord, is this where you want me to be?
Yeah.
Then I'm going to be here. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So I don't fully agree that there's more opportunities in Gauteng, and if you want opportunities, or yes, there's variety. Yeah, but there's a lot of PR agencies.
Sure.
There's a lot of comms and agencies. There's a lot of creative agencies. There's a lot of that, right? But I don't think that I would advise anyone to move. I think I'd go, if I were to advise, I'd go, you know what? What is God saying to you?
Sure.
And what's also your plan?
Sure.
Because you can get here and be miserable, and you
Yeah.
can get here and feel like it's too fast and it's this and it's that. What is your plan? What is God saying? Just align and know that this move that you're making, for sure, you know that you heard from God, and things will open up, and you prep and things will open up. But what's your take? Because I know that you like yes and no, because the truth of the matter is there are more opportunities this side.
Yeah, look, it's like you said, it appears so, right? It appears so. And I think for me, even just in my personal journey, right? Having graduated in, television production, right?
Yeah.
Close to top of my class, letters of recommendation from my lecturers, the whole situation,
Yeah.
and I'm like, okay, cool, it's time to hit the big time. Joburg,
Yeah.
the
The place to be.
Yeah, and rude awakening, there's such thing in life as gatekeepers.
Yeah.
It's real, So you push through, and you try. I've tried Joburg, and it's exactly what you're saying is it's seasons. When it's your season, then things are going to take place effortlessly,
Effortlessly.
So I think even, 3, 4, 5 years ago, even, it was just different, in as much as I wanted to again, and I tried because that's what I was looking for, but I had no one to call. Whereas this time around, I'm here now, I'm like, hey, yeah, let's meet up. Hey, yo, let's meet up. Hey, yo, let's meet up.
Yeah.
So it's exactly that. It's seasons, man.
Yeah.
It's when it's your time, and that can happen anywhere. I mean, look at where we find ourselves now. We're living in a time and in a place where we work from home, and home can literally be anywhere.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? So yeah, when opportunities open, the opportunities open. But it's also, you create your own opportunities.
You do.
You create your own
I'm a
opportunity.
huge believer of that.
You
I'm
know?
a huge believer of,
Yeah.
you create your own opportunities.
So whether it's what it is in your hand, right? The age-old thing with Moses, it's like, hey, what is in your hand? Use what's in your hand and create from that place.
Yeah.
Create from that space,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But babes, what took you so long? you.
I guess personally and honestly, right? I think
I mean, I've been ready.
I know.
When we were dating and when we got married, I was happy to move.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I was happy to move. I mean, I know even my friends in the industry that I'm in were like, "Are you really sure? There's
You're going to the desert.
You're going to the desert. There's nothing happening in Durban."
Yeah.
And I remember meeting up with one lady. She reminded me of the story saga Abram. Which Abram was taken from a foreign land, right? Taken from Labega Kona and taken to a foreign land.
Sure.
And he was successful there.
Yeah.
So when God wants you to be in a certain place,
Sure.
he will ensure that you're successful. Like, it won't be a desert, you know. And I remember I was like, this is where I am.
Sure.
And things just unfolded nicely, you know, for me not to think ukuthi I was desert,
Sure.
right? So when we were dating, I knew ukuthi at one point I wanted to move from Gauteng. I just felt like so much had happened. It was as though I just did a fresh start.
Fresh start, yeah.
Fresh start, but I never thought of KZN. I really thought I'd probably do Mpumalanga, Kapa, Cape Town.
Okay.
Never KZN.
Why?
So I don't know. I never thought of it as a place to live. You go there for vacation.
Niyezo bafethu, niyezo.
Hey, you go there for vacation,
Right, fair
right?
enough.
But no. I mean, I had to live there to know that that's not the case.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to live there to know that's not the case, right? But I think once I was there, after a year or two, I'm like, okay. I'm singahamba ke manje. I know we've done it, you know, it's fine. And I guess when we became parents, I realized the importance of community. I was like, no. You know, not that one was lonely, but weekends were
Sure.
a bit lonely. Just to know that, I can't just plan a date with friends on a weekend without firstly also checking on you if uzokukhona.
Sure.
And if we wanted to do something together, just the two of us, we have to check if there's a babysitter, basically. And I think I just missed the supportive structure in close proximity.
Yes.
Because, you know, my family has always supported me from afar, but I think I needed that full support in close proximity.
Sure.
But what took you so long?
It's not from a lack of trying, to be honest. You know, I guess, again, we can say seasons, perhaps. But I think also just realistically, I think in the process having taken as long as it has, I think one has had a chance to also do some introspection, because I think this journey, you know, one has had to make a lot of adjustments, a lot of changes, introspective changes, or rather that are based from what I'm working on in myself. You know, so I think, you know, in your 20s or whatever, it's easy to throw caution to the wind and just go. But also realizing that I wasn't like that, in as much as I have a persona that can be mistaken for that. I was still very sort of cautious and very calculated. And hence it didn't take place then, you know. And so later on in life, you know, got married, etc. And, you know, there was an opportunity where we felt like a season had come to an end, and let's, you know, explore something else. And I guess, again, my risk avertness, you know, kind of pulled me back in. So you kind of dress it up as, no, I'm being ubaba, I'm being calculated. I don't want to put my family, albeit at the time it was just the two of us, in a vulnerable position, you know. At least here, for me, it's safer. Therefore, help is easier to come by. Yabo. I guess it's also, you know, my personal pride taking place, you know. I at least mancela iskwara umuntu engimaziyo unokuthi ngisekudeni, you've got that, wow, yeah, you know. You know, so that, you know, that's that whole thing. And so I think with time, as one started to frequent Johannesburg and build my own relationships, and also work-related relationships as well, it then became easier to say, you know, let's take the jump, because that's effectively what we've done, right? It's just we've taken the jump, and took the jump, but it's a step of faith, but it's also not presumptuous. You know what I mean? So, and I think it's that. It's not that I'm expecting the people that I know to all of a sudden give me work. I don't think that's what I'm falling back on. But there is a an ethereal sort of sense of security.
Yeah.
Not that I'm banking on those people to bail me out, but for some reason it's worked out that way for me. And so, yeah, I think it's been that, and I think also the pressure to do so, and by pressure I mean, with a little one, and just having people around, yabo, like you said, Gucci, just having a variety of options for people to look after,
And assist, yeah.
and assist with the little one.
Yeah.
It plays a big role, because I mean, I don't think we did a date since little man was born. So just that
Yeah.
in and of itself, because not that he cramps our style, but the added responsibility then
Yeah.
cramps your style about being able to do other things. So yeah, but we're here now, and we're excited, and we're just grateful, looking ahead.
Yeah.
Towards.
And
what's
what
gonna
would you
unfold.
say is different about this province? Is there anything that's different that stands out for you, where you're like, you know what, one of the benefits of being here is the effect of, obviously, like you said, sense of community, and is there more?
Sure. I don't know if I can attribute it to Gauteng itself,
Okay.
but I think just being in a new space gives you the
Yeah.
idea of there's more.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's more. There's an opportunity to reinvent yourself, if need be. Just fresh perspective. And I think also
It gives you everything is new.
100%.
Yeah,
No,
it's
100%.
new environment, it's new spaces,
Yeah.
new routine, new habits,
New traffic.
new change of weather.
Yeah.
It gives you that feeling of new. It has
100%.
nothing to do with the province, but like you're saying, just changing into a new space
Sure.
gives you that whole.
Yeah, I mean, and also people treat you at face value, right? Even when you're interacting with people and building with people, or even some people that you've known but you've never had close proximity with. It's that, it's like, okay, cool. Are we doing that? Fine, let's do that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it's exciting.
Yeah. I think one of the things that I had to come to terms with as well, and I'm glad that I went through that whilst I was still in Durban, but transitioning into moving, right, was that my family were used to me being far away.
Yeah.
Right. So we are coming back. So Tem is coming back, and I'm coming back with my family. And it won't just be that, switch.
Yeah.
That, okay, every Friday we're going to meet up with them.
Yeah.
Every Saturday, no, I don't have to actually call them. I can just decide, hey, girl, what you doing?
Sure.
Let's meet up. What are you guys busy for dinner? So I had to also come to terms with understanding that it's going to take a while for them to realize that Temo is around the corner.
Sure.
And I've had to then, be intentional with ensuring that there's those sort of traditions that are started.
Sure.
Yabo? Those traditions that are started, that we will go to church, and after church, we go to mom
Sunday
and
lunch.
have Sunday lunch there.
Yeah.
So that they are aware, ukuthi, no man, ulalo
Go
muntu.
Yeah.
Ulalo muntu. And I'm glad ukuthi I was able to do that, because it also helped me not have expectations of people are just gonna pop in. People will just know that I'm here, so they won't do things as though angiko.
Sure.
Yeah, but for also me to put my hand up to say, hey, what's happening?
Yes.
Yabo,
Don't forget
come
me.
through.
I'm here.
Yes, don't forget me. I'm here. Invite me, because I'm here. Yeah, boss.
Well,
So
it's that thing that you often say, that the one thing that you have to come to terms with is that people have also moved on without you. You know, life has gone on
Without you.
without you, you know, and you know, in as much as we're happy to have you back, you know, you got to fit into what's going on here.
Yes.
You know,
you have to fit in.
We're not going to stop for you now.
Yeah, because you're back.
Exactly. You know,
Yeah.
so yeah, there's also that reality.
Yeah, yeah. Let's talk about marriage. Let's talk about love. Let's talk about consistency.
Oh,
Babes,
boy.
how did you? I know you're probably like, oh my goodness, my goodness. How did you grow up, and what was your encounter with love?
Yo,
And I'm asking this because most of the time we love from how we were loved.
sure.
This is the way I love. It can be two ways.
Yeah.
Right, at both extremes. The way that one loves, it's how they were loved,
Yeah.
right? And therefore, that's all I know.
Sure.
So that's all I can give.
Yeah.
That's one. Or others decide, Uti, that is not, like that is not how I'm going to love. I was
Sure.
loved like that. I didn't like how I was loved. And therefore, I am deciding to flip things around, and I'm going to love the way I desired to be loved
Sure.
when I was young.
Yo, I think growing up, especially in a context where love is not communicated sort of verbally, right? I think a lot of us, you know, I'm 80s, you know, or in for the most part, grew up that way, you know. It's not like someone is going to, hey, baby, I love you. Hey, my boy, I love you, you
Okay.
know, or whatever the case is. You might get it from your mom every once in a while, but
Yeah.
certainly not from your father. So I think you then assume that you attribute basic things like provision, a roof over your head, etc. So, okay, that mom loves me, or mom and dad love me, because all these basics are in place, especially when you compare to your peers that you're playing with, Koskangin, you know, who kind of lurk around you when it's time to go home because they know that they're gonna get another 4 slice because they're with you, type of thing, you know. Or your house always has oros, you know. So you kind of attribute that to love, but just by virtue of what, you know, your parents are doing for you, you know. So I think that's kind of my base for love is, and even then it's assumed, you know. It's my own personal interpretation, even as a child, you know. It's only as you get older that you then start to understand what it is, and as you reflect, that okay, limited to, you know, by resources, limited by perhaps ignorance, that love wasn't sort of communicated in the traditional, in what we've come to us understand as what is meant to be.
Yeah.
A way that you communicate love to a little one. So I think having grown up, basically, you know, again in that, I mean, we sort of originally from Zululand, so going to eThekwini, the big city, you know, kind of like people from Durban moving to Joburg, it's like the big city, in pursuit of Model C education. So even that, as a sacrifice from your parents, you're like, okay,
you deem
that's
that as love.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when you look back, like, my parents love me. I mean, I speak the English. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You know. So
Because they were able to make those sacrifices.
and make those things happen.
Yeah.
But you then, like, at what expense?
At what expense? Yeah.
You know.
Which means because it's time away. It's time away from them being home.
Yeah, contact.
Because then, which means they have to be away, making the money so that you guys can go to these schools.
Yes.
Yeah, boom. Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, it's such a difficult thing to come to terms with. But when you, as I've come to learn, and from my personal psychologist, it's tough to come to terms with the idea that you are suffering from a form of abandonment.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And neglect.
And neglect, exactly. You're like, no, dude.
I was loved.
Come
on, listen.
No.
Listen.
that cannot be the case, you know. But you understand the void that you are
Yeah.
also then left
Yeah.
with as you reflect
Yeah.
and as you grow up. And it's and for me, I'd like to give them a pass. You know,
Yeah.
like I often hear, you know, Kabelo, Mabelane, talk about whenever he reflects on his dad. You know, it's almost like, hey, you know, we had our struggles, but hey, he had his own problems. You know, our parents had apartheid to deal with, guys. Do you know what I mean? So not that you're giving them a pass, but you also want to empathize and sympathize with them. That hey, this is, you know, there was other struggles. You know, so I think the onus is then just on us and this generation to just try and do a better job.
Yeah,
you
for
know?
our kids.
Exactly.
Yeah, for our kids. And now that you're a grown man, how would you describe your ultimate love language? I know love languages change
Yeah.
as people grow and you know evolve.
Sure.
But what's your
You know,
how would you describe your love language?
so I was reflecting on this, ne? And I think having gone to the couples dinner that we went to recently, hosted by our church, and I think you discover certain things about yourself
Yeah.
that take you by surprise. And Utlamini, who was one of the speakers, or I think it's Baki Utlamini, you know, said something that was so profound, right? And it's like, hey guys, men love respect. You know what I mean? And it doesn't fall in, you know, Chapman's 5 love languages, right? But when I sat and realized it, and also we're not in, for personally, again, a lot of guys aren't into like noise and all this stuff. Guys, can I just come and chill? Yeah, well, I go you know. And no. We're speaking about love languages. Ask me about my love language.
I've asked the question.
Exactly. Let me answer, please. So I think it's just that.
Yeah.
I think for me, at the end of the day, how I want to be loved, right? Because that's what your love language is.
Yeah.
It's actually just respect.
Yeah.
You know, just.
And how would you define respect? I'm asking this because there's people who define respect. Once I've said something, don't question it.
Right.
So that can be respect. And other people is like, okay, even if I've done something wrong, say it with love.
Yes.
And with respect.
Yeah. I think it's that.
Yeah, but,
right.
And then other people would be, just give me my place. Yeah, but whatever they presume that place to be like. Yeah, but so it's like, no, just give me my place. So then how would you define respect?
I think it's some of what you've mentioned, right? Is like for me, it's like let's not patronize each other.
Yeah.
You know, if I've done something that's not to your liking, that's not to your taste, like let's not patronize. Let's not give like rhetorical questions. Okay. And those are just your basic day-to-day operations.
Yeah.
You know? And then you get like, because we're talking about love, right? Because I can say I love you and you can get warm and fuzzy, right? But if I say, hey, here's a spa treatment, that's over and above. Do you know what I mean? That's on top, you know? And then there's that. And I think we were laughing about it the other day. It's like, hey, let's get tray, right? And you're like, no. When I was growing up, I thought, like, no, guys, that's old school. I don't need that. You know, I'll get right. But when it happens, hey, it slaps different. You know?
In fact, when
it just does.
This is so funny because you and my mom, so you and Mama Jem.
Yeah.
That's how you serve each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, Bongani and mom, that's your thing.
You know what I mean?
Yes, you serve each other and a tray, and I'm like, oh wow.
Babe, it slaps. It slaps so hard. I can't even tell you. It's like I remember even for my 40th when you did this long, it was a post when we had gone away or whatever, and you're like, hey yo Nondaba, we thank you, we celebrate you.
And you're like, yeah.
I'm Nondaba,
yeah.
Yeah, that's what's up. And it's these things that come
Yeah.
from nowhere
Yeah.
that are old, that are traditional,
Yeah.
that just slap hard.
Yeah.
You know? So I mean, it could be whatever for the next person, but there are just those things for where I think traditionally they are deemed as an act of respect for a person, right? But because you think I'm modern, I'm whatever, it's like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
neither here nor there.
Yeah,
Listen, if
but-
you don't bring food on a tray, it's not gonna end our marriage.
Yeah.
But if it comes on a tray,
It's like, that's a bonus.
okay,
Yeah.
Dubai, where we going?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's what it is for me, at least.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I hear you.
Do you
babes.
think have you got something that's out of the ordinary in as far as love languages is concerned?
No, I'd like to think that I'm not complicated. My love language, my all-time love language outside, like you said, Les Zaga, Gary Chapman,
Yeah.
that we know, is consistency. Yeah. If you're not gonna be consistent in it, leave it. It's okay.
Sure.
It's okay. I'm happy to move on like that.
Without- yeah.
But Yabona, the on and off, because I feel like this today, therefore I'm going to do that. Because I feel like that today,
Sure.
then I'm going to do this. Then salasoye, it's okay. I'm happy for people to not be up and down. Just show me who you are, and I'm happy to take this person
Sure.
the way they are.
Okay.
Yabo. So consistency is my all-time ultimate love language.
Sure.
Yabo. Yeah, that's why I'm not complicated. That's it. Just be consistent.
Babes,
Yeah.
you can say that as much as you want.
Yeah.
But we know for a fact that all women are complicated. From a guy's perspective.
That's why when Funuguzala, yeah, all women are complicated.
We need to set the record straight, guys.
Yeah, no. We are all different.
Yes, no, we are.
Yeah, no, both genders are different.
Exactly.
And they complement one another.
100%.
Yeah. Do you think everyone is destined to get married?
Is everyone destined to get married?
Yeah.
I'm going to say something controversial. All right?
Okay.
I think people getting married is a choice.
Okay.
Yeah. So
So you don't think everyone is destined to get married?
I think you choose.
In your opinion,
I think you choose.
okay.
Yeah.
Expand.
So, like, if ufuna umshado uzoshada. If awufuna umshado ngeke uzoshada.
No.
Right?
you can't say that.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's controversial. Now, the question is, who you marry. That's a whole conversation.
No,
Yeah,
babes, you can't say that if umshado uzoshada, because from a female's perspective, it's like they can't go out and pursue and decide this is the guy I want to marry, and if I'm gonna marry that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it can be if umshado uzoshada.
Sure. Okay, look, I think it's nuanced.
Okay.
Maybe, I'm not backtracking, but I'm just saying it's nuanced. Because, and I guess I'm also approaching it from a sort of silos perspective, right? Because people have dated people, but when they're looking to settle down, they're like, no,
Not this one.
Not this one. Yeah, bro. So indirectly, you are choosing with I. Ushada ngiyafuna ukushada, but angifuni ukushada lo. Yabo. So then where does it sit on? Yabo. It's one thing if you're saying to me ukuthi hey angazi ngishayela umuntu ngiyafuna ukushada. Yabo. But
And angazi ngishela.
angazi ngishayela.
Okay.
Yabo. But even the guy that pushes trolleys, mode at our sisters.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes, but
But I'm over exaggerating to make a point.
Okay.
Is that at some point there could be an opportunity to do so, but people choose otherwise.
okay.
Yeah, bro.
So are they destined? Do you believe every single person is destined to get married, or do you
No.
believe there's people who get
No.
married and there's people who won't?
Khona ngeke bashade.
Okay.
Yeah, khona ngeke bashade.
Okay. Do you believe everyone has a soulmate?
Again, I'm going to be, no, because you know what it is, babes, is in what I've assimilated in my mind,
Yeah.
is that when everyone is happy and everything is rosy, and people
You're my
feel like,
soulmate.
and people feel like it's effortless,
Yes.
right? Then people think, oh, I married my soulmate, right? But the truth of the matter is, we've come to understand ukuthi umshado umsebenzi. Ya ngiyabo. The only difference is how much work people have had to do to get to that place. Angitabo. And how much work and how much effort people continue to do to get to that place.
Okay.
Yabo. Because if I'm rubbing you up the wrong way in the early days of a marriage,
Yeah.
right? And I get to that place where I'm nemba, nemba, right? Then all of a sudden, it's like you have an amnesia, yabo. It's like, oh my gosh, he is wonderful, he is amazing, he just gets me. But even him, and he just getting you, he's working every day to make sure he meets you where you're at.
Okay.
And I think it's the work.
Yeah.
It's not automated.
Okay. Maybe the question should be, what's your definition of a soulmate?
A soulmate is someone that you're compatible with, right?
Okay.
But even that, even that, we don't come in, we don't come in and all of a sudden it just and it just works. Yeah, but at some point there is friction. Someone has to apologize at some point. So I'm just saying, for me, I'm trying to dispel the notion that it's just all smooth all the time.
If you have a soulmate.
If you have a soulmate.
Yes.
Yeah.
So basically, if you're married to a soulmate, it's going to be all smooth all the time.
It's going to be all smooth.
Okay.
I mean, if it's all smooth all the time, I'm questioning that. Someone is not authentic in that context. Yeah, bo?
Yeah. So someone has chosen to silently die
Yes.
to self just so that this person
yeah, it's
can
not
be
that relationship is not good.
Okay.
It's like that.
Okay. So you're saying, Uzi, your definition of a soulmate is someone you are compatible with. However, work still needs to be done.
Yeah. I think a soulmate is someone who's prepared to do the work for you or with you. That's a soulmate.
Okay.
Someone who is prepared to
work. So to work on this relationship,
there
with you,
yes,
and for you,
That's come on, tweet that, hashtag that situation. Someone who's prepared to do the work for you and with you in that relationship. That's a soulmate.
So do you think everyone married is married to their soulmate?
No.
Why? Because you just said,
no, because so
you just said,
Demo, nothing is given.
Okay.
You get into marriage, right? Because I think that's what you're speaking about, not just relationship, but more specifically marriage, right? You get into marriage with the greatest hopes, right? So, in as much as you feel certain, at the end of the day, it is still a step of faith. You're still stepping into the unknown, yabo, and you're hoping and you're believing and you're praying, which is this thing, yabo.
Yeah.
And so you believe that you're marrying your soulmate. You believe that you're marrying the person who is prepared to be with you
through thick and thin.
And do the work.
Happy times and unhappy times.
Yebo.
Yeah.
Yebo. So at the point where someone is not prepared to do that.
But sometimes we don't even know if someone is prepared to do that. Now, but they don't even know if they're prepared.
Of course.
To do that.
Of course.
Until they get to that crossroad and it's like, now this is what I didn't sign up for.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is what I didn't sign up for.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you, Lapo Babes, because I believe not everyone is married to their soulmate. And also, I want to say, but also not everyone who's divorced means they were not married to their soulmate.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Ukuthi nje, as time went, whatever happened in the relationship, they just decided to, you know what, we were compatible that season.
Sure.
And this season, I don't feel like we are compatible. So let's.
It's and I think it's not an indictment on people. Yeah, but it's just what's your breaking point? Yeah, but
And sometimes we may not know. That's the thing, Bongani, ukuthi sometimes we may not know what that will be my breaking point.
Exactly. And I can't judge you for that.
Yeah. So before, but it's hurtful.
Sure. No, 100%.
Because I can't judge you for that. But ungathola ukuthi when people are now in this thing and it's like, this is my breaking point.
Sure.
And it's like, but we said forever and ever. And it's like, no, it's not this thing.
It's like, babes, it's like people suffering from, in a relationship, suffering from emotional abuse. Ne? And that's a breaking point for someone.
Yeah.
And then you go, especially to our elders, we go there and they're like, hey, Usman, I can't stand them because of 1, 2, 3. It's like, how? Akachitanga nje. You're just like, oh yeah.
Akakushayi nje, yabo. Because sometimes, it's what we were talking about, in fact, the other day.
Yeah.
Ukuthi, we, as society, and society is us, right? We learned that from Mam Tembi when she was here. Ukuthi, sometimes we do that. We, as society, we decide, ukuthi, because it's physical, yeah, no, okay, this is good enough. But anything that can be emotional, anything that can be mental is like, I will. You can overcome that. But if someone feels, no, this is my breaking point. I'm being abused emotionally.
Sure.
And I'm not going to sit in this thing. And sometimes being abused emotionally also, it's not like you are useless. You are stupid. You are this, right? It can be things like, ngikhuluma nalo muntu, akakhulumi nami, they continue to do their own thing. I continue to find out from, other people, this is what happened. And I can't.
Yeah.
And that still, brews the same pain as someone who probably would have been cheated on or someone who would have been beaten up physically.
Sure.
Yeah, so what does having a soulmate look like to you? I'm asking this. I know it sounds like, the questions are all the same, but do you believe a soulmate is a my ride or die? My other half, my heart keeper. And if that's the case, to which extent? To an extent, Yoguti, no, you must continue to be my ride or die. I don't care how hard or messy things become.
Yeah.
My soulmate will be my ride or die, and they won't leave me. If I were to, God forbid, if I were to murder someone, if I were to kill someone, they would keep this, they would help me cover the body and keep the secret, and we would move on with life. Or do you think they'd go, no ways.
Tabo Pesta vibes.
Okay,
all right. Okay. I think there are traditional perspectives.
Yeah.
Or perceptions of what ride or die means. And I think we also find ourselves in these awkward spaces where we are kind of caught up in the middle, trying to balance the old and the new, right? By new, I mean just what we've come to understand from what's healthy in a relationship and what isn't, what's deemed as abusive in a relationship and what isn't, versus, your favorite phrase, in Bogota, what is in Bogota supposed to tolerate? I think everything within reason. I think there are certain things that are out there that we can categorically understand with our guys. No, I'm not prepared to die for this. If someone is abusive, for some infidelity I can't. And I guess again, some of those things each to their own, right?
Each to their own, yeah.
So we also need to be careful that we're not prescribing or we're not imposing on people.
Yeah.
Right? Even if a friend is confiding in you, saying, hey, as Umuntu is doing 1, 2, 3.
And you deem that as
like I'm gone.
Something that when ungayikhalela. Yeah.
Exactly. So I think it's important for us, when you're in those positions to be objective and not impose and nudge people in a certain direction.
Yeah.
You understand? And leaving it to them to decide. So I think, but what I do want to say is that there are certain things where I can only speak from my perspective, where there are moments where you feel like where the penny drops, right? And umuntu wako has put up with you with your certain nonsensical traits up to a certain point, and you get to a point where finally the penny drops. You're like, I know, I know. Yabo. And
they also get to a point where like, I'm out.
Yeah, so
because that can happen.
It
when
can.
The penny can drop on your side,
Yeah.
where you like, I finally get it.
Yes, but it could be too late.
It could be too late.
Yes,
it could be too late.
So in an instance though, where you get a millimeter of grace,
jump in, man.
you like, that's when you're like, okay, you not because you're also intentionally testing people, right? Because let's not do that. Let's not test our people just to see if they are your right or die. We've got nothing to prove here. But when the penny drops and you realize this person is my person, then you're also compelled to take things to the next level for that person. Yeah, well, within your means and within your capacity.
Yeah. Babes, we're celebrating 9 years.
Yo!
9 years.
Yo!
We almost didn't make it.
Yeah. Yo, that's another yo.
We almost did not make it.
That's another yo.
What would you say to the 33-year-old you?
First and
now,
foremost.
with what you know now.
Sure.
Because you were 33 when you're
gonna
got
get married, yeah. First of all, Mchita, what's your plan?
Yeah.
Like, what's your plan?
Do you feel like you went into marriage blind?
Completely. Like, I hadn't digested
the amount of work.
just the concept of marriage. What is marriage? And we see our parents are married, and we see our friends' parents, we see our friends getting married, and because it's almost like it's the next thing in life. I go to school, I go to high school, I go to varsity, I get a job.
I get married.
They get married, I have kids.
Okay.
But we haven't internalized what those things actually mean
Yeah.
and what they're going to demand from you. So for me, marriage was the next step, the next logical step.
Yeah.
And so
I'm old, I'm grown.
I'm freestyling,
Yes,
baba.
let me get married.
I'm Saga, okay. Even get married, freestyling.
Yeah.
And you kind of assume that it's going to work itself out, like just like everything else. But no, Baba, no.
There's more to marriage than you being faithful.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Just coexisting is something in and of itself. Coexisting, but I think from a male perspective, Jita, what is the plan?
What is the plan?
What is the objective? Exactly.
What's the plan, guy? And what's your plan?
It's like obviously you have your individual plan,
Yeah.
right? And she has her own plans, right? But what's also the objective of this union?
Yeah.
Yeah, but besides having kids and growing old together, what are we trying to achieve as a collective? What is our mandate as a collective? What is our objective as a collective? Babes, so into 1 or 2 or 3. Tina, people must look at us and be like, the Zondis are about 3, 4, 5, and 6. And that's what they're trying to do. Do you know what I mean? If it might also not be set in stone, but brother, please at least be mixing the cement. Do you know what I mean? This is at least also be clear about your personal goal. because we talk about, the Bible talks about a man being a woman rather being a helper to the man in the context of marriage, right? Uzowenzani? What are you doing?
Wenzani.
Exactly.
Yes.
Or what are you trying
helping?
to do?
Yes.
Precisely. I think for me, that is the quintessential. Because also once you know what you're doing, it's also easier to articulate it. It's easy to communicate it. It's easier to get the plan down together. It's like, this is what we're doing. This is how we're going to go about it. What are your thoughts? Okay, maybe we should go left instead of right. Okay, cool. But this is what we're doing. I think, number one is just that.
Yeah. And, you mentioned Uguti, and obviously when one has a plan, then they're able to, Tina, as the Zondis, this is what we're about, Tina, as, and I'd like to add on that, babes, because many a times we get married, but we also don't even know why we are getting married. And I'm saying that because we're not getting married just to have sex and have kids. I truly believe there's more. Like our marriage ministry is bigger than just getting married to, share bed together and have kids. Share bed together and have kids, and then that's it.
Yeah.
And I believe it's so important for even people as they're dating and people who are married, but every now and again to check in, marriage meaning our marriage purpose, what is it? Right? Because yes, the ultimate is for us to increase the kingdom of God, because marriage is His creation.
Sure.
But senzani,
I think
what are we known for?
Sure, I think it's what you're saying, which you alluded to the fact that we almost didn't make it, right? And I think for me, what kept the fight alive was coming to terms with the fact that, okay, fine, I've messed up. She's not happy about whatever she's not happy about. But God, why? What was our plan?
Yeah.
Why did you bring us together in the first place?
Yeah.
Yeah, bo.
Yeah.
And that hasn't been realized.
Yeah.
We haven't even begun to scratch the surface, I believe.
Yeah.
So I'm like, nah, man, I can't just walk away. Like nothing happened, So the why of, that being a trending term, right? The why, but the why of
is
marriage
important. Yeah.
is critical.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I fully agree. And if marriage is meant to be forever, babes, then why is there divorce?
Well, I think we've alluded to some of those things, right? First of all, we've in trying to define a soulmate, right? At which point are people throwing in the towel?
How much can people tolerate?
How much can people tolerate? And of course, the purpose of the marriage, the purpose of the union, that is also a telltale factor.
Yeah.
And I think, man,
And just to add, I think another thing is the fact that there's so many factors that complicate an individual.
Yeah.
I don't think the concept is complicated. But because Tina, Esingabantu, we've got a past, we've got, how we grew up, we've got all these things that make up this person. So we can sometimes go into marriage without being self-aware of, certain things that were traumatic. Or sometimes you find, a tragic happens. Like, a tragic happens and you're like, this person did not support me at all.
Sure.
Or they expected me to get over it. Or they didn't share this pain with me.
Yeah.
And people can also see a betrayal in that.
Sure.
People can walk away because of a loss of something, whether it's a job or a big job, whether it is a loss of, one of our body parts, and it's like, I don't look at this person the same way now. Whether it is, there is, we can unpack this over and over and over again. But I truly believe, Uguti, yes, God's perfect plan was these two people to stay together.
Sure.
But yeah, we've been bruised, we've been hurt. We sometimes can't get over things the way we thought we will be able to get over when we get there.
Sure.
And other things are asizicabanganga nje futhi at all. I
Yeah.
never thought this could be,
Totally.
this could be the marriage that I'm in.
Totally.
So, all of those things can really just bring a broken heart, and people can choose ukuthi, I think the best way is to leave instead of staying. Yeah, instead of staying. So having moved to the province, we get to work together. We get to work together, we get to collaborate. But I want to know what has been, which part of Demo have you enjoyed the most? Demo the wife or Demo who you work with?
Demo the wife. Simple. Demo the wife.
And the Demo you work with?
Kapela, it's not that the demo that I work with is terrible.
Okay.
You're saying which one do I prefer? I prefer demo the wife.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think because we work in our industries, right? The stuff that we do overlaps.
Yeah.
Yabo. So, like, and I think we hold on to our things, dearly. It's like, no, Dem, I don't need you to tell me where to put the light. Like, calm down. Like, calm down. No. Demo,
I'm good.
Jack, just chill.
Okay.
Let's just dial it back a few notches. Yeah, well.
Yeah.
And I think this is because that's just purely pride, right?
Yeah.
Because you can receive constructive input
Yeah.
from people who are completely outside
Yeah.
of your
Of your industry,
Yeah,
yeah.
well. So it's like me stepping up to be like, no, the strat needs to go down like this.
Yeah.
You need to approach it like this. You're like,
Yeah. But I'm open to that.
eh? You say you're open to that.
I'm open to that.
All right. But there's that. Yeah, well, Uguti, from a personal preference perspective, at the moment, I think also because it's weird, right? Because work is work and home and family is something
also
else.
yeah.
So the dynamic changes a
Yeah.
little bit because also.
But I feel like I'm able to separate the two, whereas you can't. Like I can, as a business partner, I can be hard and go, no, this is
but that's the thing,
right. And literally 4 hours later, switch and go, oh yes, I'm busy there, I'm in the kitchen, I'm cooking, I'm dishing up. I mean, I'm in my element as a wife.
Right. So I think maybe it's a learning thing.
Yeah.
Because I think it's something that can also improve with time. Because sometimes when you're receiving feedback, right? Like I said, it's an area of pride because this is my field, this is my forte. I know what time it is over here. Just, you know what I mean? But being able to receive the input, right, from a client and not be dismissive of the client, right? But also, and not undermining the client because I've got a relationship.
Agreed.
And wanting to push back for the sake of pushing back.
Yeah.
Yabo.
But also pushing back because familiarity.
Yes. Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think there's also that.
And what would be your advice to couples that are working together?
Advice for couples that are working together. I think the first thing, I'll make it sound like I've got 5 points to make. Yeah? One thing that springs to mind rather is when you're helping a spouse, right? Because I think there's always that. There's always I think there's in as much as it can be a collective thing, we know which there's a visionary behind this thing.
Collective thing.
Exactly, right? So as someone who's there to support the vision, I think the first thing is to help them with what they're asked for help for.
Yeah, know your place.
Yeah, but don't come with
know your place.
Extra spice.
Yeah.
And you might have, the stuff that you're bringing might be valid, it might be constructive, but just do what they've asked you to do first.
Yeah.
Yeah, bo?
Yeah.
And then you can come in with
and ask other stuff.
And add your 2 cents on top of everything else.
Yeah. I think for me now, I'm an advocate of even if a couple are not working together, find something that you both do together.
Sure.
It's very key. It's very important. I've said it over and over again. Uguti, I'm an individual. Like, so I thrive whether I'm alone or I'm able to find my own things and do it with other people. The problem with that, especially in the context of umshado, is then you end up not needing your person.
Yes.
Yeah. You end up not needing your person.
For a guy, that's tough.
Because you've been able to, because you want to be needed.
Like for guys, that's one of the toughest things.
Yeah. But so you get to a point where you're like, but Vele, we have nothing in common. That's where this thing comes from.
Yes.
No, we have nothing in common. We hardly do things together. In fact, we are so different that we don't have the same hobby. Then find it. But I think my biggest thing is then find the hobby. Find something that you two are going to do together, whether it is go into loving it or, something like, okay, what is it that we both share and we both love and we both appreciate, then let's jump on it.
Sure.
So I think even if you are not doing business together or you're not collaborating on projects together, find that one thing, outside of doing it with other people or doing it, but just that one thing that is going to bring these two people together. In Uguti, there's always this thing, that togetherness. Because that way then we need each other.
100%.
Because when you get to a point where, where's the corner rageko? It's the same. Those now the work also needs to now, increase to try to keep the marriage together. Try to keep the marriage together. We're about to wrap up.
Yo.
I know.
Okay.
We're about to wrap up.
This is nice though. This is like a therapy session.
No, you must actually go to an actual...
No, but I think, without saying too much, this is good.
It's good.
Yeah, this is good.
Okay. No, I've enjoyed having a male perspective. Because yes, you guys comment, but you comment from the other side. It's like, I know you don't have to
give you feedback in the foyer in passing.
You don't have to say anything. So thank you for coming here and for, holding it down for the gents. But I truly believe, babes, it even has nothing to do with that. I think it's mutual learning. And for both genders, and for all our viewers, we are learning. But I'm also learning as a female. You are also learning as a male, and our viewers are learning. But we're about to wrap it up. It's done. You can relax now.
There's people they're like, but now let's just leave some on the table for next time when I come back.
No.
That's how you work your way back.
Your way back. No. So just a few things on you. What's been the most expensive gift that you've bought yourself in the last 12 months?
In the last 12 months, I don't know if it's I've bought myself or if I've bought what I do. I've recently dropped some serious cash on some camera equipment, which felt good, even though it's for what I do. That felt good. But if it's like self, then I don't know. I can never have enough sneakers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, did you buy yourself expensive sneakers in the last 12 months?
Oh, expensive is very relative. I think one of the things that I'm working through is, this is again heightened by a conversation with some friends that we had over recently. Like, sometimes guys, some guys, and let me not say all guys, some guys are very Abantu Bami orientated. My people are sorted at their own expense. So it's
that
learning.
They forget about them. And self-care, self-love for them.
So I say that to say, Gucci, expensive is a very loose term. You might look at them and be like, but those aren't expensive. But to me, they're expensive.
They're expensive. I guess that's all that matters. What is the one thing that you believed for the longest time and now have a different perspective on it?
Life is tough, guys. I'm going to start by saying that. Life is tough. And I think we've effectively communicated the fact that we church-going people, etc. And being involved.
Is your hand in your pocket?
No.
I'm thinking you being a...
No. Anyway, I think having been involved in church for quite a long time, and through the system, so to speak, up the ladder, I used to look at people side eyes, sideways. This one is not coming to church anymore. They're not doing this anymore, or whatever.
Yeah.
Bawile, or whatever the case is.
Yeah,
they've
moved away from God.
and you say that you're not judging, but deep down you are. And I think one of the things that I've learned as I've gone older, our life will show you flames. Yeah. And so spare a thought for people, because you have no idea what it took for them to show up even. Yeah. So I don't know if that answers your question, but I think that's my thing. It does. It's just life is it'll
Life it'll hurt. Which music artist did you recently discover and you're like, where have I been? Where have I been?
Oh gosh.
Because this is good music. Where have I been? You see what I did for you? I even brought a I even bought a music note.
Guys.
Because when Apela
leave it.
You used to be part of the Arrows.
Okay.
Yes. But that was a Kairos moment for you. It was also a life-changing season.
No, it was.
We artists, Joji. In fact, a friend the other day called you. You know, Temo Bongani is your husband is a celebrity in the gospel.
Celebrity gospel. Oh my
no,
word.
a celebrity, like you see a celebrity in the church.
I don't know about that.
No, it's true. It's true.
Anyway, there's a friend of mine. Shout out to Josh if he sees this. He always makes a big noise about that. But anyway, it's so music. I ingested a lot of music growing up, like different types of music.
You mean genres?
Genres, yes, okay. Yeah. So from Derek Zimande, for those who don't know, Amapoisa Solunji, for those who don't know, right through to Nirvana and Oasis. See, I'm losing the people right now, but also right through to, Fresh House Flavor 1, 2, 3. Glenn Lewis, just anything and everything, right through to electro. So I've got a very wide palette of music. But I was recently reflecting, and I realized that the music that I really, really enjoyed was hip hop music, right? And more specifically, what they call boom bap hip hop. And those who know really know what I'm talking about. So I was just listening to some stuff recently, and I'm like, I rediscovered, and then I did a deep dive on DJ High Tech, who's a producer, and that's why I was losing my mind. So it's more of a rediscovery than a discovery. That's but nice. High Tech is, man, it takes me to those places.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. One advice you live by?
One advice.
Anyway, the artists you've mentioned,
precisely, but that's why I never get into this conversation.
No, I thought you mentioned Slum Village. I know Slum Village. I know Mos Def, but
Mos Def and Talib Kweli, Black Star. So, yeah. Anyway, let me not do a whole tutorial
here. One advice you live by.
Life is for the enjoyment.
Okay, life is for the enjoyment.
Life is for the enjoyment.
YOLO. Are you a YOLO or you like no?
But
enjoy.
Enjoy.
YOLO. Each moment, enjoy.
Yeah, life is too short, guys, to be splitting hairs. Life is too short to be splitting hairs.
Yeah.
Honestly. Yeah, bro. Yeah, I think that's me. Like life, I can't be like no. Masishia, yeah, it's fine.
Masishia lapo, masivale lapo. I'm really hoping that you've done justice for the gents out there.
I hope so. I hope so. I know some people are gonna be like, you didn't put her in her place.
Oh, please. Please, no, they must come. They must come here. No, they must come sit here. I will take it. I will take it and hear what is it that they're trying to do. But babes, thank you so much.
Thank you for having
being
me.
our first male guest.
Yes.
But you've been a friend of the show. You've
100%.
produced. You've been invested. You've worked behind the scenes.
Literally invested. Carry on.
Yes, I want to say something, ne? Uti, this is my thing about guys.
Yeah.
Hey, this was too much, man.
We have to.
I need your ear like too down.
It's a modus operandi.
No. So, in other places you just need to.
It's what gets you up in the. It's what gets us up in the morning.
Okay.
Yeah, you've got to get juiced up, otherwise.
Get that ego.
Yeah, otherwise you're gonna get popped, bro.
Babes, you were good.
Thank you.
You were good.
You saw that. I could have said I know, but I said thank you.
Yeah.
Speechless. Boy.
I'm speechless, babes. You were good. Thank you so much for your insights. Thank you for sharing your knowledge, your experiences with us. It's not easy, you know, to be here and to actually just put yourself out there. And you did exactly that. And yeah, I hope you will edit yourself nice. You'll edit yourself nice.
Make myself look good.
And make yourself look good. But for me, I love you. Happy 9th year anniversary. I love you so. I know. It's my dad. It's about time. No, I think it's about time for we give advices.
Yeah.
No, I'm joking. Azabuya in this
union.
In a marriage union.
Yeah.
Ziabuya, so we'll just leave the advices to people who've been married 20, 30 and above.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I love you.
I love you too.
And I appreciate you. Thank you for working on this production. And till next time.
We're really let TikTok about kissing, guys. Anyway, we'll let sleeping dogs lie.
Hope you enjoyed this episode. To stay updated with new episodes and blog posts, do subscribe to this YouTube channel or our webpage, anashemitliher.co.za.